I come before you this afternoon, not as Chief or Professor Michael Zekome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, but I come before you as a representative of His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Netoku Apolopolo, the Oba of Benin, AY2, to pay the Oba's condolence visit to the Dokpesi family on the bereavement of the family and the people of Wepawano kingdoms over this rare gem of a human being, an uncommon avatar, and a prodigy, a legend of his times, whose footprints in the sands of time will never ever be forgotten. So I stand before you today as Chief Michael Zekome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the belonging to the Egaonore group and the Enoba Kai or Death of Benin Kingdom. I belong to the Egaonore group of Benin. This is the highest group in the Oba's palace. Wherever members of that group go to, they are ambassadors of the royal palace and the Benin Kingdom. And it is headed by Chief Sam Igbe, he said, of Benin. It is in that group you find the likes of Chief Dr. Gabriel Benedion, the Esama of Benin Kingdom, and the Esogba Chief Edebiri, and their son and other great sons of Edula. With me here is my brother, whom the Oba specifically sent down from Benin this afternoon to join me to pay this condolence visit. And he is Chief John Yeho, the Izuaka of Benin. Izuako of Benin Kingdom. It belongs to the Ibiwe group in the palace. Two of us form the delegation to represent His Royal Majesty, Oko Apolopolo, Oba AY2, the Oba of Benin. Oba Tokpe! And this is the Oba's letter of condolence, which he has said I should read and present to the son on behalf of the Dokpesi family. Condolence. Greetings from the royal palace of the Oba of Benin. His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedo Uku Apolopolo AY2, CFR, Oba of Benin, received with shock the news of the demise of our dear son, High Chief Raymond Aleogo Dokpesi, PhD, Officer of the Federal Republic. Chief Raymond Aleogo Dokpesi impacted positively on humanity in general and Nigerians in particular. His many feats in the maritime and private broadcasting industry cannot be forgotten in a hurry. He lived an exemplary life of service, philanthropy, and impactment worthy of emulation, even by generations yet unborn. His Royal Majesty remembered fondly how High Chief Raymond heard of his coronation in 2016. He sent a team to cover the coronation ceremony live for free as part of his contributions to the coronation ceremony. On behalf of the Royal Palace, the Benin Kingdom, and the good people of Edo State, the Omonoba commiserates with the entire Dokpesi family on the demise of High Chief Raymond and Leogo Dokpesi. The Omonoba praise God Almighty to give the family the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss and grant peaceful repose to the soul of the departed. Signed, Omonoba Ledo Ukwakolokolo, AY the second, CFR, Oba of Benin. Oba Tokwe!
As Nigerians continue to grapple with the grim effect of the subsidy removal, a group of oil marketers who visited the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on Wednesday announced their intention to donate between 50 to 100 mass transit buses to help cushion the effect of the subsidy removal. The announcement is coming as the president directed the National Economic Council, led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, to devise an approach and begin the process of working on intervention to mitigate the impact of subsidy removal on Nigerians.
We're going to work at providing real mass transit buses that work. The ones that will run on CNG, which is the compressed natural gas and diesel, interchangeably. And hopefully we're going to start with about 50 to 100. And that is in the very, very short term. And these are locally produced. So you see that we're also providing jobs, a lot more jobs, because we're using local assembly plants. We're not importing this.
Motorcyclists in Cameroon have reportedly protested the removal of the petrol subsidy in Nigeria. Since the announcement of the subsidy removal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his inaugural speech, there's been reports of the adverse effects in neighboring countries like Cameroon, Ghana, Benin Republic, and as far as Sudan, as countries have reportedly relied on the smuggle of petrol from Nigeria over the years. In a video that has now gone viral, commercial motorcyclists in Gaoura, Cameroon, were seen expressing their dissatisfaction with the petrol subsidy removal in Nigeria and warning the people of Cameroon that transportation will increase since access to Nigeria's oil has become difficult, while criticizing Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Oji, I am happy that they are feeling the pain in Cameroon, because what they've been doing, they've been exploiting theft.
Absolutely.
Our tankers are driven across the border to places like Garwa, and Garwa is just close to one of the northern Nigerian states, just over the border, and they are driven there, and our fuel is sold, and they are using our fuel while we are frittering away our national cash that we want to use for our economy, and we are using it on them. We can't be subsidized for West African nation. We've done too much for them already. There are people like here as illegal migrants, and some of them, and they are working and benefit from my economy. I think that should be enough. So nobody can make the argument that removal of subsidy is not good. But the problem is just the planning. And it segues into the conversation about CNG. Yes, we should now see how we can grow the automotive sector, how we can get more people to work in there, because we need to grow our economy. And like I keep saying, no palliative that we are going to put now that is going to be able to cushion the effect. The most important palliative is economic growth. If this economy starts to grow, we get a lot of people working, we bring them out of poverty. That's when we can have a true cushioning of effect. But I'm happy that they are protesting. I'm sad to say that their pain now is my joy in Cameroon. Because you know what? Their joy before used to be our pain here, because they were stealing from our resource in connivance with some of our own Nigerians, that they should be disgraced and they should be ashamed of themselves. But anyway, we gave them the chance to steal because the arbitrage was so much. And like somebody used to say, it is when you give the thief an opportunity to steal, he will steal. But we've cut all of that out now. Then how can we ply back our economy and increase our economy? Because when you look at it, they don't have this commodity. They do not have the refineries. So maybe when we set up more refineries, we'll be able to sell to them too, and they will buy at premium. Like you were saying, I was in Abidjan, and the per liter is 850. 850 CFA. Hope you even know that the CFA, the economy of Nigeria has gone so bad that the CFA is ahead of Nigeria now. It is now 700 CFA to 1,000 naira. Formerly Oji, I remember in the early 2000s when I went to Benin and Lament, we used to change 150 naira to 1,000 CFA. It is now 700 CFA to 1,000 naira. That's to show you how decadent our economy has been. But Nigeria is going to resuscitate. We are going to go back up. We are going to do well. Right. And we are going to eclipse and show that we are truly the giant of Africa. Audrey, this country is great, and it will do well. Absolutely. We believe it, but we'll keep supporting government with our criticism. It's very important. You
talked about CMG vehicles to be introduced and all that. I made a point earlier on. This is not the first time. In 2012, the government of the day then, in fact, through the TIB, the Infrastructure Bank, put in about 16 billion naira to make buses available. And these buses were given to RTN, NURTW, ABC Motors, some other, transportation companies. Nobody paid back the loan. Where are those buses today? When is the train going to start working in Lagos? Because that's the thing that will cushion the effect. That train that they launched that time, that train is important.
Those are all great ideas. Well, in another development, the outgoing Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, at a valedictory session organized for the 9th House in Abuja, said young people in the country have lost faith in Nigeria and are choosing to seek their fortunes and their future in other countries. Gbajabiamila, who will assume a new office next week as the Chief of Staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, urged the executive and legislative arms of government to act fast to check the mass exodus of youth from the country, stating that they must restore faith in young people or risk the unforgiving judgment of history. It's almost too late. Oh well, if they want to regain the faith of the youth, they need to restore hope through proper accountability and transparency of governance. You can't tell people to suffer now and enjoy later when they can't see what is in store for them in the future. Well, Ghost of Lagos, he had a lot of tweets, and he talked about crime, he talked about corruption, and he also talked about electricity. He wrote, this should be number one. Give us electricity. Something as little as 24 hours electricity has drawn many Nigerian youth to Ghana. Talk less of foreign countries, as basic as these things are. I haven't spoken of pensions, quality, salaries, job security, and investment. He also talked about strikes in our institution, the tertiary institution, which demoralizes us before graduating to a society where jobs will most likely not be given on merit, but on who we are connected to. Where a video of a Sierra Leonean woman who was taking a walk to work in a rare encounter bumped into the Prime Minister of the country, Mark Rutte. Well, let's take a listen to their conversation before we come back for a discussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to be the Prime Minister of Netherlands today whilst I was going to work. I'm so happy. Good morning, everybody.
I'm on my way to the shop to take care of my glasses. Yeah. She is on her way to her job. And then I am to my job. Yeah.
You can't believe this. It's hard to see. Walking to work in the morning with the Prime Minister.
It's a small world.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I think I'm going to have a nice day today. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.
This is such an exemplary video, Dr. Abati. I heard you say you have met the Prime Minister before. I think this is amazing.
You know, on one occasion, President Jonathan was in the Netherlands, you know. And when we were there, part of the schedule was to meet with the Prime Minister. And we went in the convoy from the embassy to the place where we were to meet. And we saw one man riding bicycle to arrive. We didn't know it was the Prime Minister. We went in, and then this guy just parked his bicycle and came in, and it was Mark Rutte. In 2022, he became the longest-serving Dutch Prime Minister. It was so simple. Okay, we had that meeting, and in the course of the meeting, the Prime Minister even said, oh, he was rushing down from a school where he was teaching. Maybe he said he was teaching history or teaching social studies or whatever, you know, and we had a good encounter with him. And look at him here, walking to his office. And he was telling the Sierra Leonean that, oh, I'm going to my own job. You two are going to your own job. So these are civilized societies where there is no big man syndrome. Sometimes you are going on the road, some non-entity in Nigeria, who is not even a government official, is disturbing you. He's using siren. He has a convoy. He has a retinue of, for being nobody other than that. You don't even know the source of his wealth. And it is worse even with people who are in government. So I hope a day will come when there will be this same simplicity where we can enter buses and meet our ministers, meet governors, behaving like normal human beings. So, but in some other places, this example you have brought shows us that it is possible to be in a high position and still be a human being, and still behave like a normal person.
Nail on the head. Only yesterday we were talking about cutting the cost of governance. I mean, look at this is a huge example of that as well. I mean, if you can see, you know, one of our presidents walking on the street, how is that possible?
Let's start with the members of the House.
Let's start with the members of the House. Well,
this is Bod TV Bod. In case the first time you come here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more uploads.